Greetings, my noble knights, it is I, Blaze Templar, and I'm trying to just relax a little bit. I have some soothing Persona 5 music in the background, just trying to help myself kind of unwind after the rage-inducing moment that I had just a little bit ago, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to redo my team builder since I figured I could do it better today. Even though right now my rage is all-consuming at the moment, and I am not a happy camper. Anyway, we are going up against the Boston Boozials, led by Matt, the namesake of the CML, which I call CDL, and most people kind of mix between those two names, so the Chill Matt League, Chill Draft League, as like I prefer to call it, but he's the namesake for it. Why, I'm not sure, but it's a joke that's going on. And anyway, he actually has quite an interesting team, with a Lycanroc Dusk, Z-Move of course, Whimsicott also his other Z-Crystal user, Espeon, Florges, Golisopod, Mandibuzz, Nidoqueen, Ninetales, Rhyperior, Toxicroak, and Vikavolt. Now looking at his team, he does have some pretty good threads to say the least. He has some really solid defensive Pokemon in the Mandibuzz and the Florges, and of course, Ninetales isn't too bad on the special defensive side, and Nidoqueen is quite tanky on both sides, so these are actually pretty big threats. Toxicroak is a very good offensive threat. Lycanroc Dust with that Z-Crystal could be a big problem. Vikavolt actually hits pretty hard, and if I don't respect it, it could cost me. I believe I've actually had some issues because of that Vikavolt, if I recall correctly, at like week 1, so I don't want to repeat that one. Anyway, let's get into it. See how we're going to deal with this. And first is Yanmega. I am running 236 speed, which means it outspeeds basically everything after a speed boost and a lot of the things before they get the boost. Buggy MZ hits a lot of his Pokemon for at least neutral damage, helps me get around a number of his targets. Giga Drain because it's quad effective against a bunch of his Pokemon. Psychic hits a number of them, Air Slash, and of course Bug Buzz. Unfortunately, doesn't do well against Mandibuzz, but even a Rocky MZ off of Ancient Power will not take it down a Mandibuzz, which is kind of depressing. So that's why I'm running that instead of the Rocky MZ Ancient Power strategy, which I had originally. And like I said, the defensive investment's just there to try to take a hit a little better. Next, we do have Quagsire. It is a bulky boy once again. Scald, Recover, Toxic, Encore. Same kind of set as I've been running. But with one key difference, we're running Rindo Berries, so we can actually take a grass move a lot more comfortably. The last 2 times I've run Quagsire, it's been cut short because of a surprise grass move, and this will help mitigate that as, well, I can actually take a grass move with the Rindo Berry, hopefully. Anyway, that's why that's there. Next, we do have Porygon 2. Discharge and Hidden Power Grass covers a lot of his Pokemon pretty well. Psyshock covers the Toxicroak really nicely. Recover, of course, is there just to keep the Porygon 2 nice and alive. Discharge also has a good chance of paralysis. Psyshock, like I said, takes care of the Toxicroak. It is a one-hit KO, no problem whatsoever, and it might be a nice little right hook when you're expecting the left. So that's why it's that. I am running no investment in Trace, so I can copy certain abilities. Levitate could be handy. Solid Rock would be really awesome to copy. Very annoying, because then you couldn't even use Close Combat effectively on Porygon 2. And so, yeah, there's options. Anyway, next is the Bronzong. With the Levitate ability, I figured it'd be more effective than Heatproof this week. Kustat Berry, so I can get one last attack off. Max HP, max attack. Very much an offensive threat with Gyro Ball, Stealth, Rock, Toxic, and Explosion. Kind of a mixed utility mon this week. Explosion actually is a one-hit KO on Toxicroak as well, so I have a couple different ways to get around it. I'm not completely, blindsided by it. Gyro Ball hits a lot of his Pokemon really hard, especially as I am running a negative speed invested nature. So it could do quite well. Next is Ampharos Mega. This is kind of a standard set, and I thought I changed that to Hidden Power Ice. That shouldn't be Hidden Power Grass anymore. Hidden Power Ice, Bolt Beam coverage, and it actually covers a lot of the things, including that pesky Nidoqueen as it comes in. Although Dragon Pulse would probably do more damage in that case, so, I haven't quite decided on that hidden power quite yet, but I'm thinking Ice is most likely, as it does hit a number of his Pokemon for at least super effective damage. Maybe not as much as, say, a well-played Thunderbolt, but, you know, middle of the ground, or middle of the road kind of play. So if I'm not sure if he's going to switch into a ground type or if he's going to switch into a flying type. Hidden Power Ice kind of covers both of those options pretty decently, and I don't have to worry about being locked in, or, well, going for the Dragon Pulse and getting mitigated there too. So I can at least guarantee some damage off. Kind of what I'm thinking there. I could do that, or I might in fact go for something like Light Screen or something like that. I am still kind of on the fence about that. Maybe Reflect. Actually, that sounds really good. Which it does get Reflect. So actually, yeah, we're going to slap Reflect in, as Dragon Pulse and Thunderbolt actually hit a lot of his team really well. Of course, the Nidoqueen is a problem, but, you know, not much you can do about that. And Reflect. If I could talk today, that would be great, too. I'll just be honest, being able to talk would help a lot. But, you know, Reflect lets us take a lot of the very physically offensive Pokemon on a lot better, like the Toxicroak, like the Rhyperior, so forth and so on. And did I not put that on? Oh, well, I didn't put the music on replay, so gonna get that restarted. Anyway, so yeah, Reflect is now going to be there. As I was looking at it, I wasn't really satisfied with either Hidden Power. Hidden Power Grass could be nice, but I have a lot of other grass users this week, most notably the Xatu and the Yanmega. Trick Room, Roost, U-Turn, and Grass Knot. I was really tempted to put Defog on over the Trick Room, but I figured with how slow my team is, the Trick Room would be a little better. And as long as I can predict when the rocks are going up, I can make sure that the rocks are bounced instead. So that's kind of why I did that. And I have a lot of control over Stealth Rock at this time with the Armaldo, with the Xatu, with the Defogs, all that fun stuff. So I haven't really had to deal with rocks as much as I was afraid I was going to. But I have, you know, Xatu with the Magic Bounce, especially defensive Pokemon, Trick Room plus Grass Knot means I can hit the Rhyperior for a lot of damage. If it is especially bulky, I'm not taking it out. I'm just going to be blunt. That won't happen. But if it's been weakened down a little bit, Grass Knot will clean it out, no problem, despite the non-investment. It does like up to 70%, I believe, so pretty good. It, again, won't KO even if it's a bulky set. So not running investment was fine in this case. I'd rather run defensive investment just so I can take the hits a little better. So that's why that's there. Leftovers just to maximize recovery, of course. And I'm going to actually tweak the EVs just a little bit so we deal... 2, 4, 8. Tweaking the EVs so if rocks do go up, we can actually deal with rocks a lot more effectively. Just making sure everything's saved. I've had so many problems with the Teambuilder. Unfortunately, for some reason, EVs and stuff don't always stay the same like I want them to. So it's always important to try to save that. But those are the Pokemon and kind of the mindset behind them. I'm really hoping I can kind of work around this guy's team this week and come out on top. No promises, but if we can come out on top, we are back in the running for playoffs. We'll have to win this game and the next to be seeded in playoffs. Well, this is week 6, so if we can win week 6 and week 7, that's a guaranteed playoffs, I believe, at that point. We need like 2 more wins over the next 3 weeks, so it's definitely close, but I think it's doable. I'd rather win the next 3 games because that will put us in a lot better situation, because right now we are basically running even, which is not a lot of breathing room. So here's hoping we make it to playoffs. I haven't been playing the best, but I'm hoping that this team, this mindset, will be enough to help me get through. I didn't bring Honchkrow, which is uncommon for me, but I have Yanmega, so, you know, still got one of the flying boys to work my way through the opposing team. Anyway, that is the team, and I will see you guys probably again tonight once it's time for the battle. But until then, goodbye.